Welcome to Yorkshire Tropics. Today we're going to be taking a look at 10 incredible evergreen plants that will transform your garden into a lush tropical paradise, giving your garden year-round colour and texture. Whether you're just starting out or looking to add some new life to your outdoor space, these exotic beauties are perfect for creating that vibrant jungle-like feel. Let's get started. First up then, we have Trachycarpus fortunei, commonly known as the windmill palm. It is one of the hardiest palm trees available, making it a fantastic choice for creating an exotic atmosphere. No exotic garden would be complete without one of these beautiful palms. With the large fan-shaped leaves that when mature can reach up to 1 metre across, they create a fantastic upper canopy to the garden. They add structure and height, meaning they can be a feature plant or give evergreen tropical backdrop to the planted in front. You can start off with a small palm, or like I've done here, purchase a slightly bigger one to give you that instant height. Once established, they can grow quickly, anything up to around 1 foot of trunk a year, so don't worry if your budget only allows you to buy a smaller palm. It'll soon size up. I have planted many around the garden, most of which are much smaller plants, which I'll be able to show you once they grow and I'm able to see them. They can take almost any weather the UK will throw at it, only the very coldest locations will it really be affected by the cold. If you live in a particularly windy area, you could also try Trachycarpus wagnerianus, also known as the waggy palm, which has shorter, stiffer leaves that stand up to the wind much better and don't look as tatty as fortunei can look in the wind. They are tolerant to all soil types and can be grown in full sun or shade, making it a very versatile plant that doesn't suffer from pests or disease. What more could you want from a hardy palm to give that exotic feel all year round? Up next we have Fargesia robusta Campbell, a clump-forming, non-invasive bamboo species prized for its upright growth habit and its elegant appearance. Native to the mountainous regions of China, this bamboo is well suited to temperate climates like the UK, offering an exotic, tropical feel without the aggressive spreading tendencies associated with some other bamboo species. The canes on this clump-forming bamboo are only thin, unlike some of the running bamboos that can get to some truly massive proportions and need much more room to grow. Robusta Campbell can get the heights of 5 metre once mature. This one of mine only went in a couple of seasons ago as a small potted plant and has quickly sized up. I expect this will hit its ultimate height in the next couple of years. It prefers moist but well-drained soil, and to be grown in sun to partial shade, it will benefit from a good mulching of well-rotted farmyard manure and plenty of water in the growing season for best growth, but it will be just fine if you leave it to do its own thing. You just won't get the biggest of canes if left to do its own devices. This bamboo is totally hardy in the UK, so you'll be able to see this majestic plant swaying in even the coldest of winter days. Whether it's used as a screen, a specimen plant or a background feature, Robusta Campbell bamboo brings a touch of the Far East to your outdoor space with minimal fuss. Up next we have Cordyline australis, commonly known as the cabbage palm, even though not technically a true palm. Cordylines are striking evergreen plants native to New Zealand. With their upright growth habit and long sword-like foliage, they make a great hardy backbone plant to any exotic or tropical style garden. They can be grown as a single specimen or in a group planting where they look more impressive in my opinion. Cordylines come in a wide range of colours ranging from the standard green form through to variegated shades with pink, red, purple and creamy whites depending on their variety. Just be aware that the more fancy colours are much less cold hardy than their standard form and might completely defoliate in a bad winter, which might kill them off, though sometimes they will reshoot from the base with multiple growing points. Cordylines grow pretty quickly, so it's well worth saving some money and just buying small, and in a few years they'll soon be substantial plants in their own right. They are a low maintenance plant, but if you're growing one of the more tender colourful varieties, you would be wise to give them a little protection in the coldest of winter nights to keep the frost from killing the growing point. Cordylines are a valuable addition to creating a lush green tropical atmosphere. Fatsia japonica is a robust evergreen shrub native to Japan, Korea and Taiwan. It is valued for its large, glossy, dark green leaves with its distinctive hand-like shape, each leaf divided into 7 to 9 lobes. The foliage can grow up to 4 to 5 centimeters wide, creating a dramatic tropical effect. The plant typically forms a dense, bushy habit with a rounded silhouette, although it responds well to being cut back and shaping, as I have done here by lifting the canopy to allow me to underplant it. In late autumn to early winter it produces small, creamy white flower clusters which are followed by blackberries. Fatsia japonica can grow quickly and reaches heights of up to 10 feet. It prefers some shelter and shade to keep its dark glossy leaves. It can be grown in a sunnier spot, but the leaves tend to be paler green and don't look as healthy for it. Fatsia polycarpa is another great one to grow. It's less common, but arguably a more attractive evergreen plant, with its more slender, deep-cut fingers, hence the name green fingers. It flowers just like Fatsia japonica, adding a little winter interest to the garden. It also likes the same growing conditions as japonica, so giving it a little dappled shade will keep it happy. Both plants are hardy in the UK, and whether you choose to plant one or both of them, they will both add that lush, tropical green, architectural foliage that every exotic garden needs. Up next we have Schefflera taiwaniana, commonly known as the umbrella tree. It's an evergreen shrub, a small tree native to Taiwan and parts of China. Similar to Fatsia polycarpa, Schefflera taiwaniana has large, palmate leaves that are arranged in a distinctive umbrella-like formation. Each leaf is made up of 7 to 9 glossy, leathery leaflets that radiate from a central point, creating a dense, lush canopy. The individual leaflets are dark green and can be up to 25 cm long. Mine are still only young plants, so I can't wait to get the leaves to that size. The plant typically has a bushy, rounded shape with a trunk that may be single or multiple. In mature plants, the trunk can develop a thick, somewhat twisted appearance that adds character. Schefflera taiwaniana is a relatively fast-growing plant that can reach heights of 4 meters or more, given time and depending on growing conditions. This species is adaptable to various garden settings and can be grown in containers or as a feature plant in the garden borders. It has proven to be hardy here in the UK and thrives in well-drained fertile soil in a position of full sun to partial shade. Schefflera taiwaniana is a visually striking plant that brings a touch of elegance to your garden with its large, glossy foliage and unique growth habit. Its adaptability and relatively low maintenance requirements make it a valuable addition to your tropical or exotic style garden. Mahonia softcaress is a compact and distinctive evergreen shrub that combines a lush, feathery fern-like soft textured foliage, giving it a tropical appearance with practical hardiness. The leaves are narrow and deeply lobed, with a glossy, dark green finish, and unlike many other mahonias, the leaflets are soft to the touch rather than spiky, making them more user-friendly for handling. In the late winter to early spring, the plant produces clusters of fragrant, bright yellow flowers that contrast beautifully with the dark foliage. These flowers are followed by dark blue berries. Softcaress is relatively compact compared to other species, growing to a height and spread of 1 to 1.5 meters. It maintains a dense, bushy form that works so well if you're trying to create that low-level jungle feel. Mahonia softcaress is hardy in most parts of the UK, and only the very harshest of winter weather would give it any problems. Alternatively to softcaress is Mahonia sweet winter, which in many ways is very similar to softcaress, with just some small, subtle differences. Sweet winter has wider, pinnate leaflets with tiny little spines on them, which are more holly-like. They are still soft to the touch though, and nothing like the more well-known spiky Mahonias. Another difference is that Mahonia sweet winter flowers a little later, and the flowers themselves are a more vibrant yellow. Both plants definitely have their place in a tropical or exotic style garden, and it's one I plan on adding more to tie the garden together with some repeat planting. Next up we have phormiums, also known as New Zealand flax. It's a genus of evergreen perennials native to New Zealand and parts of the Pacific Islands. Their striking architectural foliage adds bold, exotic touch to gardens. They range in size from the large tenax forms, which can reach up to 3 meters high, and the smaller forms which can grow anything from 1 to 2 meters in height, depending on the variety. Their foliage is similar to that of cordlines in leaf shape, and also the wide range of colours that they come in. There really is a colour for everyone, and much like the cordlines, the more vibrant and exotic looking the foliage, the general rule is they are less cold tolerant, so the more plain green ones tend to be tougher, although in most parts of the UK you should have no problem growing any of them. Adaptable to different soil types and conditions, phormiums are versatile choices for both contemporary and tropical style gardens. Their resilience and low maintenance nature further enhance their appeal. Up next is euphorbia. I'm just showcasing a few. With over 1500 species in the genus, it's truly massive. I am growing Euphorbia minors merlo, which is this almost purple foliage one that stays relatively compact and evergreen, just needing a tidy up in the spring when it has finished flowering. Unfortunately, this one is a little crowded out, so it's not easy to show off to its best in this video. The one just in front is Euphorbia mellifera, commonly known as the honey spurge. As the name suggests, it has honey-scented flowers. It's a moderately fast-growing shrub, reaching heights of 1.5 to 2.5 meters, with a similar spread. Its upright, bushy habit makes it an excellent choice for adding structure and vertical interest to the garden. The plant tends to develop a broad, rounded form over time, which can be pruned to maintain its shape if desired. The long, land-shaped leaves are deep green with a glossy finish, providing year-round interest. The leaves are arranged in a spiral pattern around the stems, which gives the plant a pleasing rounded shape. The last one I'm growing is Euphorbia John Phillips cross Pasteurei, which is a robust evergreen shrub that's a hybrid primarily involving Euphorbia mellifera and Euphorbia stygiana. This hybrid combines the best qualities of its parent plants, resulting in a vigorous architectural shrub with lush dark green foliage and fragrant honey-scented flowers, typically reaching up to 2.5 meters in height and spread, making it slightly larger and more vigorous than mellifera. Ideal choice for adding height and structure to the garden borders or as a focal point. These three euphorbias all prefer well-drained soil suited to full sun to partial shade. Like all euphorbias though, its milky sap can be an irritant to the skin and eyes, so care should be taken while handling the plant. Growing euphorbia in an exotic style garden with their bold architectural forms and striking foliage provide a dramatic presence that complements the lush tropical aesthetics of an exotic garden. Adding ferns to your exotic style garden is the perfect way to enhance the lush tropical ambience that defines this type of landscape. Ferns, with their delicate feathery fronds and rich green hues, bring a sense of tranquility and natural elegance to the garden, complementing the bold architectural forms of other exotic plants like palms, bananas and tetrapanax. Ferns thrive in the shady, moist conditions often found in woodland or jungle-inspired gardens, making them ideal for underplanting beneath larger canopy-forming plants or in shaded corners where other plants might struggle. Their graceful, arching fronds add movement and texture, softening the overall look of the garden and creating a more natural, layered effect. By incorporating a variety of ferns with different forms and sizes, you can create depth and interest, from low-growing ground covers to large, statement-making specimens. The lush foliage of ferns also provides a beautiful contrast to the broad, glossy leaves or spiky textures of more tropical plants, enhancing the overall visual appeal of your garden. I must admit to not knowing the names of most of the ferns in my garden. I just pick them up cheap and pop them in, and a few years later, they're at the size they are, they're all thriving. I certainly wouldn't have a garden without ferns in it. Last but not least then is the tree fern Dicksonia antarctica. Known for its impressive height and lush feathery fronds, it adds a dramatic tropical touch to gardens. This one, although isn't going to be an evergreen plant in everyone's garden, usually mine included, even when the fronds are browned off and hanging down, it still adds structure to the garden and well worth being on this list of highly exotic and tropical looking plants. Not many other plants have the impact and stature of a large tree fern. They're very slow growing, and as a rule you would purchase them by the height of the trunk, usually measured in feet, my largest being a 5-footer. The smaller one is a 2-foot tree fern, and its fronds are equally as impressive as you view it from a different height, so it gives you a different perspective of it. They can be a little bit of a luxury plant now given the prices of them, but you could still buy a small plant with no trunk and plant it in the right location and given adequate water. I've seen examples in the UK grow much faster than you might think. They thrive in moist soils and prefer shaded to partial shaded locations. The tree fern can also adapt to a range of soil types as long as they are kept constantly moist. Dicksonia antarctica requires regular watering to keep the soil and trunk damp, and watering directly into the crown is definitely advisable. They benefit from additional humidity and can thrive in cooler climates with adequate protection from severe frost. In colder regions, it is advisable to mulch around the base and provide it with some winter protection, such as a layer of frost cloth. While it is relatively low maintenance, an occasional cleaning of the old fronds helps maintain a cleaner look if that's what you're after. Dicksonia antarctica is a magnificent addition to any exotic garden, bringing both height and lush greenery. Its impressive trunk and feathery fronds create a dramatic and tropical atmosphere, making it a standout feature in a shaded or jungle setting. I hope you found this useful as you look to create your own tropical style garden. If you have enjoyed it, please consider giving it a like, possibly subscribe to the channel if you want to watch some more content like this. Thank you for watching, see you on the next one.